Hi you guys, welcome back to my Crypto 101 series, and this week we're going to be going over all things Solana, okay? Everything you need to know about Solana, I'm going to teach you, and you guys, like I said before, I thought I loved Ethereum, but I am now in love with Solana. Like, we go together real bad, okay? Solana is one of the leading cryptocurrencies in the crypto world right now, and it has so much utility behind it, and the amount of fees associated with it is phenomenal, okay? So I want to teach you guys everything about Solana before it like blows up and becomes unaffordable. But before we get started, welcome back to Getting Digital with Deja. Okay guys, like usual, I'm going to go over the textbook definition for Solana, and that's going to be: Solana is a high-speed, high-performance blockchain designed to handle thousands of transactions per second with minimal fees. Often seen as a strong competitor to Ethereum, offering a more efficient alternative for dApps, DeFi, and NFTs. So the reason why Solana is considered a direct competitor to Ethereum is because it literally shares the same exact utility, okay? Same utility. It's used for decentralized apps, DeFi, NFTs. You can literally do anything you want on this Solana platform, just like you can the Ethereum platform. Now, I do want to state Solana is a platform just like Ethereum is a platform, but the native currency for Solana is going to be Sol, S-O-L, just like the native currency for Ethereum is Ether. So Solana was created in 2017 with a vision to solve the blockchain scalability issues without compromising any security or decentralization. And scalability in this case is essentially going to mean a system's capability of handling an increased amount of work. And you might be thinking, how does Solana create more scalability on a blockchain without compromising decentralization or security? Well, the answer to that is going to be the invention of POH, or proof of history, you guys. Okay, so initially we went over POW, which is what Bitcoin uses, and it involves miners adding things to the blockchain. Then we had POS, which is proof of staking, which is what Ethereum uses, and that includes validators and staking cryptocurrencies. Now we have POH, which is what Solana uses, okay? And it was the first cryptocurrency to use POH. It was actually invented for Solana, and that is proof of history, and we're about to jump into that right now. So Solana uses a mixture of POS and POH to increase efficiency and scalability within the blockchain, okay? Now, POS is proof of staking, POH is proof of history, and they are used in conjunction with each other. So this hybrid type of approach for the consensus mechanism allows Solana to complete transactions very quickly, and then on top of that, at a very, very reduced price from its competitors or just from all cryptocurrencies in general. Alright you guys, so now it's time for the textbook definition of POH, or proof of history. And this is a little bit wordy definition, but I did that because I wanted you guys to be able to fully understand and grasp this concept, since this is the first time that I am introducing this concept in this consensus mechanism in my Crypto 101 series. So here we go. Proof of history. The system operates as a decentralized clock to apply time steps to transactions before blockchain additions. Network operates more efficiently because nodes can verify transactions without extensive communications. POH timestamps transactions before they reach the consensus mechanism, which is going to be POS, ensuring rapid processing and seamless ordering, enables to verify the sequence of events without communicating. So traditional blockchains requires that nodes agree on transaction order before validation, which causes what they call a bottleneck. So the textbook definition for bottleneck is going to be: a point of congestion slows or halts the flow of a system. So basically it means that it's backed up. So proof of history is essentially adding a timestamp to the transaction and just cutting the need for communication between the nodes and cutting out that whole entire step so that it can go ahead and move on to POS and be validated and put onto the blockchain very quickly. That's why the amount of transactions per second is so much higher than other blockchains like Ethereum. Now, circling back to the transactions per second for Solana, the platform can actually compute around 65,000 transactions per second, which is so much more compared to Ethereum's 15 to 30 transactions per second. Now, that 15 to 30 transactions per second for Ethereum is going to be on its usual layer 1 platforms, but when we have those layer 2 solutions, which is what I went over when I talked about all things Ethereum in my last video, It's more about 24,000 to 32,000 transactions per second for Ethereum, but that's still significantly less than 65,000 transactions per second for Solana. So even though that Ethereum has upgrades and it has its layer 2 solutions, it's still not fast enough to compete with Solana in its regular base foundation. Okay, you guys, 65,000 compared to 24 to 32,000, you guys. Okay, so Solana is more than double the amount of transactions per second than Ethereum. So this is because Solana uses a different way of being able to process their transactions, which is going to be called parallel processing. Okay, so Ethereum uses the EVM, or the Ethereum virtual machine, and Solana is going to be using a specific type of parallel processing, and I'm about to tell you guys about that right now. So now let's go over the textbook definition for parallel transaction processing. C-level parallel processing is Solana's transaction execution engine, allowing multiple smart contracts to run in parallel, unlike Ethereum's layer 1. Solana can handle thousands of smart contracts execution simultaneously. So notice that I said Solana's processing is unlike Ethereum's layer 1, okay? But that is not the case for Ethereum's layer 2. Now, Ethereum's layer 2, what they do is they grab thousands of transactions, take them off chain, and process them before bringing them back in one summary and adding them to the blockchain, okay? So that is similar to what Solana does as far as computing a lot of transactions at once, but the difference is Solana does not take it off chain. It does it on chain through the use of POS and POH. Okay, you guys? So layer 1 Ethereum is nothing compared to Solana, okay? But layer 2 solutions with Ethereum is in competition with Solana. There is some competition going on there, okay? As far as processing, I just wanted to let you guys really understand that part, because when I'm talking about Solana versus Ethereum, now instead of talking about Solana versus Ethereum layer 1, we really have to talk about Solana versus Ethereum layer 2 solutions, because that is where the world is headed. As where Ethereum is headed is layer 2 solutions. So I want to guide you through this video with what's common and what's emerging rather than what's slowly fading away. So remember, in the beginning of the video, I said that Solana's main vision was to create more scalability without necessarily taking away from decentralization and security. Now, that's exactly what Solana did, okay? Because it has the POH, which makes it so much faster when processing, so that improves scalability. But then it also has POS, which is proof of staking, which adds that extra layer of security onto the blockchain for it to still be able to be validated and be trustworthy, okay, you guys? So it still has Ethereum type of qualifications or characteristics, I guess you could say, but it has that added POH to make it just a little bit better. So the reason why Solana has gained so much traction is not just because of its utility, but it's also because of its technical and technological advantages against things like Ethereum or Bitcoin and things like that. Then also on top of that, it has a very, very strong investor backing, okay? There are a lot of investors that are backing Solana because they see the utility behind it, they see the advantages, they see the low fees, they see the fast transactions, they just see it as a whole. And then again, they are looking at Solana platform more than just cryptocurrency. They're looking at it as leading the digital age. So even though Solana was founded in 2017, it launched its mainnet blockchain in 2020, okay? So now it's 2026 and it launched in 2020, and the amount of community that Solana has backed behind it within that 6-year time frame is quite amazing, you guys. So that's another thing to look at when you're looking at these coins. So the purpose of this video wasn't to say that Solana is better than Ethereum, because I think they are both very, very strong platforms. I will say that Solana has a lot of advantages over Ethereum, but the thing about Ethereum is the price of the coin is already in the thousands, and then on top of that, it has so much support and adoption already. So that's what is kind of making it go up there as far as importance compared to Solana. But I think they're both equally important and can equally take off. But we are gonna stop there, you guys. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about Sol, S-O-L, which is going to be the native currency of the Solana platform, you guys. Now, Sol is amazing, okay? Just like Solana, is amazing. So stay tuned for that, you guys, and I'll be going over the price and everything, the use cases and everything for Sol. So if you want all of that information, stay tuned for my next episode on Wednesday. But before I go, always remember that pretty girls can do crypto too. Toodles.